Welcome back to the Goldline U.S. Open Contender. My name is Jerry Gertz of Curling Zone. We are joining in here. First end of the B qualifier, the first B qualifier here at the Four Seasons Curling Club in Blaine, Minnesota. 13 men's teams taking part in this event. We've got Riley Fenson taking on Connor Kauffman. We've seen both these teams earlier this weekend, and both have been playing very well, catching the trying to figure out the game here. September curling, first games back on the ice since the COVID shutdown back in March. I've got two guests with me here this afternoon. I'd like to welcome a couple familiar voices. We've got John Benton of Cold Granite, manager at the Four Seasons Curling Club, and Sean Murray, of course. Angry Bird is back on air. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
So we've got these two teams have been winding their way through the draw bracket here. I'm just trying to pull up their records so far. Both teams with one loss, which is the result of being on the B side. Both 2-1 here coming into this game.
Kauffman team started off strong. They won the first two games and then lost the A qualifier this morning to somebody named Corey Dropkin, whoever that is. Pretty good team.
Yeah, those two teams didn't spend much time on the ice so far. 2 wins, both straight into the playoffs now. 6 teams out of the 13 reached the playoff round. Starts tomorrow morning. What time's the quarterfinals, John?
I'd have to look again. I've been running back and forth. Sean, do you have that draw up there?
Yeah. Oh, see. Oh, there's no championship round yet, so I don't have the playoff bracket. I don't think in front of me.
Well, we'll make it up as we go. We'll figure it out later on.
We'll figure it out.
Gentlemen.
You've got a shot in there, Jerry, in the palette for the stream.
Somewhere.
That's what happens when you bring in somebody like Evan Workin and Cam Rittenauer to run the event. You just kind of forget about these details, which for the first time in a long time, it's actually kind of weird because I'm not at the club right now. I'm at home, and I feel like I've left my baby somewhere.
Yeah, it's nice to see it still go off without having to do all the work.
Well, it's just nice to have a couple of fresh faces like those guys come in and want to be involved. It's been a great help, and again, I listened to you talking to Chelsea in the last game, and thanks for all the comments. But that's part of growing the game too. Is these events don't run themselves, and Jerry, you're no stranger to that, and Sean, of course, doing commentary for nationals or whatever. You see what happens behind the scenes, so. We need to grow the game in all sorts of ways, and that includes, people to run them.
Yeah, of course, Evan Workin and Cameron Rittenauer. Are they both on Team Brundage still, too?
They are.
Yes.
Cam has a broken wrist, so he's not playing this weekend, which means he's got extra duty to run the event. But like I said, it's really nice to have the help and get some fresh blood in to run events.
So here in the first end, Fenson with hammer, throwing the red stones. Fenson's listed lineup. Let me see if I can find this here. We've got Riley Fenson at skip, Sam Strauss at third, Eli Clausen at second, and Trevor Marquardt at lead. Though it looks like they've been playing with 3 earlier. I'm not sure if Eli is in for this game yet or not. Being an East Coaster, we might not expect him to be there.
Right. Looking like a pretty simple force here. A little bit of pressure in the first end to draw against 4.
Last stone they just threw actually pushed the top 12 stone out of the way and actually made the hammer shot a little easier, I think.
Yeah, probably. I think early on, the ice was only finished up on Thursday. Well, Wednesday, basically, we had our first league at the club Thursday night. And so it was still pretty green yesterday, some tracky spots, but I think it's been getting more and more consistent as we've gone along, and teams have been picking up on it. Speed has been actually really, really good. I'm really happy to see the quality of the ice right out of the gate.
Yeah, the next thing is the player consistency to be found. Obviously, September curling, everybody's a little bit rusty out there, trying to find that feel. Seeing lots of great shots, but you can certainly see the inconsistency out here. Last shot here.
Line looks pretty good if the weight's right. Ooh.
Did we get a big bounce there?
Bounced some.
Looks like 1, 2 for sure. 3 counts, I think. Now the question is whether the fourth point is yellow or if red out counts it.
Pretty sure that's going to be red out counting that fourth rock, but they'll probably take a look.
Yeah, it looks like they might put a stick on it and measure this here. The Kauffman team, we've got Aiden Oldenburg at skip and throwing 4 stones. Connor Kauffman at third, Nick Soto at second, and Jake Thurston at lead.
So I'm actually going to school a little bit this game. Connor is actually going to join me on Wednesday nights in our Super League at the club. So I get to learn a little bit about the newest player on my Super League squad.
Nice.
Putting the stick down.
And looks like it was yellow. That would make it 4.
Oof. It's a tough way to start the game if you're the Hammer team.
Yeah, especially when you anywhere in the 8 foot basically, and you're counting them down to 1, right?
Yeah. Line looked pretty good just as it was getting near the house, but like you said, it's green ice. It's going to be a little straight in spots still, and it just kept cruising.
So that appears, 4-0 here in the first end. Steal of 4 by the Kauffman side. They've been impressive so far. This is a team I don't know much about, age, anything. So, great to see them playing well. They had some good games earlier this weekend as well, and it's exciting to see another young group of players who look like they can play.
Yeah, it's interesting. I run across a couple of these players through the Youth Olympics trials, and there's a group of kids out there who don't necessarily get involved in competitive curling until they get much older than you might expect, 16, 17, 18. And so, you see them show up at an event like this and you're like, okay, where have you been? But they generally they curl locally, and they may get involved in an event like Youth Olympics, and then, suddenly they're on the scene, and it's not that typical thing where we see them come up through, the different levels of juniors maybe.
I think what ends up happening, we see this in some of the states that have a deep base. You don't necessarily see these young players come up to the junior nationals at a young age that you might see in some other locations. So, similar in some of the provinces in Canada where, you got to be real good to get out, and then to get that opportunity. And and when you get down into that bantam junior age, that what's the under group? Under 16?
U18.
U18, yeah. So, U18 athletes, I wouldn't expect to see some of these kids necessarily get through out of the stronger states. I know the junior playdowns have gone to a qualifier system, so now it's strongest teams showing up tend to get through regardless of where they're from. But, you get that sometimes when you still have that regionality in the qualifying.
Right. Well, and I do think that the U18 program that they started here is going to help with that, where you're going to see more of these kids have more of an opportunity, especially if they're able to play in both levels.
Yeah, I think sometimes that's the challenge within our game, right? Do we want to promote top level, high competitive teams at that age, or are we trying to do more about development? If we can find ways to keep the good players, bringing players along with them, getting them more involved in the sport, that would be good too. And that balance is hard to meet.
So Fenson tried to get that corner guard game going, slipped in, and really at this point gonna be tough to generate a big end. Although they did get a corner established here,
and I'm surprised they're playing a hit on the rock coming up, and I'm looking at the future vision here. Only a couple times a game now.
If you did that right, Jerry, you could look like an absolute wizard.
Oh, I am. I'm using it. It definitely helps set up the call a little bit, right? You
for
can
sure.
Look over and see what just happened and then predict kind of what's going to happen. I kind of like the draw around the corner guard here. You got those two stones on the 4 foot there. Looks like
the way
they are trying to play that.
The way they're staggered, that's a pocket. That's helping Fenson right now if they get to use it.
Yeah, I think the mistake here is just taking a little bit too much ice, and that was it.
Yep.
Nice weight there out of is it Sam Strauss throwing third stones?
Like we're on second stones.
Are they three, the Fenson team?
They did not start as 3.
Okay. So we'll just have to confirm who's throwing second stones there for Team Fenson.
You can see all of that red in the house. You could try to go for it and hit it, and if it overcurls, you take the guard off.
Interesting call here by the Kauffman team. The red stone is visible enough to hit. If they're going to throw another draw into the middle here.
Yeah, this is pretty aggressive.
Continuing to attack.
I don't really mind it. If you're able to take away that pocket.
Yeah, I think this is a good call. The problem with hitting the red one is you just create a massive pocket
more backing.
In there.
Yeah,
I definitely don't hate this.
And another equally aggressive call here.
They call another come around?
Yeah, going around the corner.
Wow.
Problem is, I don't know how you free on it. Yeah, they're double thinking this.
You're gonna have to deal with that cluster in the middle, and actually, I think that red back there might be in the way of one of them, sort of.
Yeah, there may be a way to jiggle these around where you get a pretty good advantage.
Yeah, you got to make a move on this. You go around the corner, Kauffman comes down and does that himself, and then you're done.
Then you got nothing.
Then you got nothing.
I don't know. I don't know if it curls enough, but it'd be nice if they could actually cross the face of the one just thrown, kind of tap it into the other one and sit there, and you still got 2 yellows behind it.
It's working it pretty hard. Sam, look out. Thank you.
Start of a pocket in there.
Start of a pocket. Did that help much, though? I think.
Well, you're going to see Kauffman likely throw some weight at this, which is going to kind of help you out at the end of the day for the Hammer team anyways.
Yeah. So by throwing that yellow into the pocket here, didn't you kind of commit? I mean, what are they going to do if you throw another yellow right on top of that?
Scoring area is going to be awfully small.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I mean, hitting this right now, you stand to lose at least 1 yellow. You're probably not going to keep your shooter, and you're kind of back to a pocket and third shot, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you come down with like a back 8 weight, just sort of jiggle a little bit, try and not leave the red stone locked on a yellow one.
Right.
You could probably hit that, yeah, even back 12. It'll right on the nose. It would kick that red one over across the face of the yellow one that's sitting on the button there.
Leave your shooter sitting right there, which would be good too.
Exactly.
Trying to hit
Instead,
it thin.
he's going to try and hit this thin. It's going to take a yellow one with it.
Oof.
And now the double and
Don't
roll
like
under
that.
the corner is there to sit 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of got caught there, and I agree with you, John. Like, you throw the draw, the down waiter with the last one, maybe you should be doing it here again too.
Well, that's that kind of classic, switch of tactics, right? You throw something super aggressive, and then 1 shot later you're throwing a peel in a situation that didn't demand those things to switch.
Yeah, I like the aggressive play by Kauffman here. It's a great way to learn.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to teach a skip to scale back their aggression and target it better than it is to try and teach someone to be more aggressive.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think more often than not, it kind of naturally happens that a lot of new skips they start out by being a little more fearful than they should be, right? And end up playing too conservative for too long.
Yeah, and it just definitely challenges you on the ice. You don't learn the skills to learn how to score multiples. It takes time playing with the chess pieces out there to try and figure out where to put them in the right places and identify situations where you can kind of, learn these things.
If they hit this just right, they might be able to get all 3 of these. Just get them moving. Too fat, it looks like.
Came up a little too much.
No.
Kauffman lying 1 here. But Fenson 2 and 3.
This is an interesting little scenario.
Yeah, I'd rather, if you're going to play something on the wing, just draw around the corner here.
Yep, absolutely.
You do that, he's probably doing something on the left side there, right?
Maybe like corner freezing to that red.
Yeah.
That yellow stone is kind of protecting your red stone there right now, too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't touch it.
No, not a chance.
Yeah,
that
draw
stone's
around
a guard.
around the corner, and then Kauffman might be freezing for his life in that pocket. If you get a little bit of a mistake, you can probably play a nose hit over there, even if he does make a good shot, and set yourself up for a possible big shot on your.
What about a draw right to the top 4 in front of the red? You put a rock in there, it's probably not going anywhere. Kind of right where his broom is right now. You're almost guaranteeing yourself a deuce, right?
Unless it over curls and you just make it so that those 2 reds can be doubled.
Sure.
But I don't like this hit. I know that much.
Well, hitting your own out is not ever going to be a good thing.
Oof. And then setting up a double on the other side.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oof.
Like you said, Jerry, learning.
Yeah, that was a situation where Fenson with hammer had a great layout and just, playing a little bit too much weight when a soft shot there really would have done a great job.
I didn't see the call here. Is he going for the double? It looked a little steep.
It is pretty steep. It's like a quarter rock or so.
Definitely playing a hit of some sort.
Even a hit and roll in front of that other one would be all right, though, right?
Definitely better than finding a hole and not getting anything. Make sure you hit something.
Signaling a little hot. Going after the double. A little thick.
Yeah, just got caught in between a little bit there. Need to hit a little bit thicker for just the roll or a little bit thinner for the double.
Still a good chance for 3 if they can sink one here.
Appears that Fenson's sitting 1 currently. The red stone behind the corner guard right now. If you're looking for the overheads, it's up in the top right-hand corner.
I think maybe tomorrow, Jerry, I'll give you a couple of full-size overheads so you can expand it.
Perfect. We can use that to look a little deeper into these circles, and
yeah,
a couple extra views out there is nice too. The camera switching keeps people around at the same time too.
Well, it's certainly not our voices keeping them around.
No.
Really going hard on this. Got to be third at least, right? That's well swept. What do you think, Sean? Are you going after that double if you're him?
I think it's worth it, but man, you wouldn't be anything wrong with just playing a come around too. Almost corner freeze. I mean, the double is there. There's two ways to make it, but better stay away from that guard. I think it all depends on which one he knows better. Does he know the line for trying to get around a top 12 stone? Or is it easier to just throw some weight, make sure you get rid of 1, at worst give up 2?
It's kind of the way I'm leaning. The risk reward, right?
Yep.
Is make sure you get this top one. Let him get his deuce. He's not going to get 3. If you throw it really well and you make the double, that you're that much better off.
Right. Play first for the 1, and if it happens to you happen to get both, it's great.
Last stone here for Aiden Oldenburg. Fenson has 1 more to come.
Just cleaning at this point. Nice safe shot.
You never just touch that.
Oh.
Looks like red is still shot.
Yep. Double check that. I don't think it changes the call though, right? You're throwing a draw either way here.
Yeah, it seems to be taking a little bit of time here for them to decide. I have a feeling some of it's just trying to figure out a path where they're comfortable throwing the draw here and what they know it's going to do. We've definitely seen teams on this sheet, when they get a little bit wider, it runs a little bit heavier, which is normal for curling club ice. But it's certainly been catching some of these teams off guard, and you'll see draws come up 10, 15 feet short.
Yeah, and that's really going to be a factor of green ice too. You know, fresh ice haven't had a whole lot of play on the outsides at all. So regardless of the scrape and pebble situation, it's just it's going to be a little fresher out there.
So last rock here, second end. Riley Fenson needs full 8 foot to score his 2. Try and chip away at that early 4-point steal.
Looking pretty good here. That's a great draw.
And he gets it. That's 2 points for Riley Fenson. They will trail 4-2 here after 2 ends at the Goldline U.S. Open Contender. We're streaming live from the Four Seasons Curling Club in Blaine, Minnesota. The U.S. Open events, Contender, and Championships, and the new mixed doubles event are hosted and run by Cold Granite Companies. Owner, president, and 2010 Olympian John Benton has been building these events as part of a larger curling business focused on growth. John has long been coaching adults and juniors and is now sponsoring a number of emerging and established teams. Teams Tuma, Seneca, Burr, Hebert are just a few. Cold Granite also works in facility consulting. John has been sharing his experience in opening Four Seasons to help other dedicated facilities get off the ground. Cold Granite is totally focused on growing the game. We got the man here himself, John Benton, and Sean Murray joining us on the commentary here from the Four Seasons Curling Club, Blaine. Great to have you guys on board.
Hey, good to be here. Nothing else to do on a gray Saturday afternoon.
And we got live curling.
You live curling, and it's a lot of fun. This is a great thing that you're doing, Jerry, and you know that I have a feeling this is going to continue well past this event and this season. You know, doing this kind of a setup. We've all had to learn a lot about Zoom and YouTube and other technologies, and I think this is just an awesome thing, and it's going to create more exposure for the game for sure.
Yeah, trying to use the technology we have and try and bring people together. I know Sean is a standard commentator at the Four Seasons Curling Club there, but obviously trying to limit exposure and keep people away from the facility as much as possible when they're not participating is sort of what we're trying to do here. And it's a great way to bring this together. And of course, we had Chelsea Carey on a couple extra earlier broadcasts, and we got the curling Zoom party going on tonight. I think we'll have 5 or 6 people likely for that, calling the game, led by Matt Hames. And so I'm looking forward to that. That group's been watching curling since the pandemic started. Wednesdays and Saturdays, throw up an old game and, catch up on it kind of thing. We've seen some great games from that.
That's pretty awesome. So I do have to bow out. I may be back for the later game. I've got to do some setup, but I'm spending a little time at home, believe it or not. So again, thanks for doing this, Jerry, and Sean. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks to Chelsea earlier and everybody on the Zoom party tonight. Have a good time and really, really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, John. Appreciate the work getting this set up and getting the club open here in Blaine and, giving us a little bit of normalcy here.
And
See you around, John.
Yep. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. I think between all the streams we've got going, we've had right around 200 or so max watching these games. So thanks to everybody for tuning in, and we'll have more events to come in November, hopefully, and December with the mixed doubles and the championships. So take care, everybody.
All right. Thanks, John.
So Team Fenson with a good start to this end. They got on the board. They don't have the hammer. Got a couple of guards up, tried to come around. A little short. Still not bad. Kauffman talking about their options. They're favoring
It's
the come
not a
around.
great front of the rings for them here.
No, I'd kind of like to see them do a little bit of clearing, but they're going to play the come around.
Yeah, this is the kind of situation where, you kind of feel like, you go around, get in there first, you've got a great chance. But the challenge with those rocks in the middle, you can easily raise them in and promote them. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and this is way out in the weeds. I don't know if they've actually thrown a rock out this far.
The other consideration here, though, is that if Fenson does tap one back, Kauffman will have a fairly short double themselves, too.
Yeah, that comes up way short. Probably going to be easier to tap one of those in than try and get around all that. You got to go out so wide.
Looks like that's the call. I think he's calling for like a back 8 weight here.
Seems to me it'd be a little easier to tap the one that's closest to his broom. You got to snake past that one to tap the other one.
Yeah, you definitely want to hit one or the other flush here.
Yeah.
And of course, throwing the right weight for the line is really the key. Little up.
Caught in between, maybe. Ooh.
Yeah, that's not what they wanted there.
No, that's
just ran a little straight, clipped the high one first, and essentially just lost all momentum on the raise.
And now split it open. Now that yellow Kauffman stone back there is pretty nicely protected. Try to bring another one in.
We do have 3 other games going on at this time. Jed Brundage up 3-0 on Steven Imes. Jeremy Hosjen, I believe.
Yes, that's
playing
right.
Daniel Casper. Casper up 2-1 there. And Madison Bayer up 1-0 on Megan Thompson. The men's games are Seaside games. while Bear Thompson is part of the women's event, and they're playing a full round robin.
It's a pretty good pass at that draw. Slipped just a little deep, though. Gives.
Yeah, you would have loved to be top 4 there.
Yeah.
Even top 8 fully buried would have been great.
A freeze on this would be really nice, but I think they're going to try to hit this. That seems like a really hard shot.
Play the hit and roll underneath.
I think that's the call. You can only see maybe half of this. They do hit it, but catch it too thin, roll away. Keep Kauffman with another chance. Take a couple feet off of it. Just trying to get this one to the house. Overcorrected a bit, and that's short of the rings.
Yeah, plugs up that hole in the middle there. Maybe not the most terrible shot.
I was thinking that's not the worst miss, because how in the world does Team Fenson get in there now?
Yeah, I think they've got to try and make some sort of a play on their red one top 12 if they could.
Yeah, you
try and just get by the yellow. If you could ever just sort of kick underneath the yellow, that'd be really good.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you can snake through the hole, you're in pretty good shape as long as the weight's right.
They're gonna go on the wide side here.
Ugh. Boy,
intern side.
This
See if they can make the adjustment.
You know, this is almost certainly a guess in terms of weight and line.
This is light. Trevor Marquardt working hard on the sweep here.
It's all over the high guard. I don't think there's getting around that side now.
Team Kauffman's going to look to promote the stone they just threw. Ideally would love to get to the nose and tap it straight back.
That'd be the best, yeah. But if it's a little high and taps under the staggered corners on the right side, that would be fine too.
This is Connor Kauffman, as far as I've been told, throwing third stones. Just a little bit light here. Although it looks like yellow is lying 2 maybe? Yeah, hard to tell for sure who is lying second shot there.
Can't really be sure, but it's kind of lined up where that shooter rolled to is a little bit of bad luck. It's kind of loaded up to double tap that red, and that can go almost right back onto the yellow shot stone. Just a tap freeze kind of deal.
Yeah, at a minimum, you've got tons of space to work with there on this tap as well.
Yeah, right. I mean, just, get it in there somewhere. It doesn't need to be frozen or anything. It's going to be behind a wall.
Team Fenson looking for the tap here. Riley Fenson in the hack with his first.
Over curl. Had a fair bit of weight to it, and it would have been fine, but just I don't know if he got it started maybe. Team Kauffman, you're thinking, well, now what?
How do we get another rock in there?
Yeah, there's no easy way to do it.
They're certainly going to be looking on the right-hand side of the screen there. Go wide, but again, same problems they've been facing here is I'm sure they have no idea what the weight is out there.
That's probably the safest option. You don't necessarily need to fully bury if you just get an inch or two underneath. It's going to be pretty hard to get to.
Now, Fenson does have a fairly straightforward tap. Yellow onto red to score 1.
Yep.
He did just throw it, so he got a feel for it. So, you know, it'd be something you kind of want to maybe take away at the same time, too. You could hit it. You know, if you were to hit the yellow on the center line side 3/4, your shooter would sort of block off that hole, and it should punch that red one all the way through by the yellow one.
Yeah. But you'd hate to try it.
If you don't quite hit it right, you might be nutted on the one in the back.
I was going to say, if you try that and it over curls just like the last one did, you might jam it back there. You don't want to do that. So are they guarding that tap? That's kind of what it looks like.
It appears to be a guard.
Okay. Trying to get this one to curl. It's fine if it's over the hog line.
Not quite.
Pretty comfortable for a skip to have a chance to have another pass at the exact same shot he just tried when he missed it the first time. He should have an idea of how to correct the weight that was thrown. Maybe the broom needs to be in a little different spot.
Riley Fenson looking to tap his up. Kauffman with one more to come has hammer here in the third end. Again, just misses it. Interesting option here. That red stone is in the way of getting 4. But if you're not careful, you might give up a steal of 1 if you hit it wrong.
Overhead's not that clear to me. Are they sitting 2 right now? Is that top 12 stone second shot?
I'm not certain. And I know the players have checked it a couple of times, so I think it's real close.
I suppose if you throw this hard, make sure you hit it thin enough to not catch the back shot stone.
You can get a 3 here.
You're guaranteed, 2 or 3 basically.
Yeah, this is coming pretty good. Last stone here, the third end. Aiden Oldenburg throwing fourth stones and skip for Team Kauffman. Hit for 2 or 3 right off here. Rubs the front. Ooh, catches shot stone.
Oh, that's just dirty.
Gets a little bit fortunate there. You know what? Had that guard not been in the way, he might have actually run it straight back into his shot stone in the back of the 8-foot. So
very possible. Oh man.
Yeah, very fortunate for Team Kauffman, but they grab 3, and now they have a 7-2 lead after 3 ends here at the Goldline U.S. Open Contender. My name's Jerry Gertz of CurlingZone.com. I'm joined by Sean Murray, Angry Bird. We'll be right back with our 4th end coverage shortly. First stone by Kauffman lead Jake Thurston into the rings. Riley Fenson will be looking for a corner guard here.
Yeah, down 5. They've got to go hard on the offense, try and get back into this game.
And this rock is not going to be a guard.
Yeah, it might not even be in the house. Oof. It's going to be awfully tough to set up offense when you can't get guards.
Yeah, throwing your corner guards in is not ideal. The good news is 5-rock rule. You get 2 cracks at it. So the next corner will be safe as well.
No. Try to establish a corner guard on the left side now. Even those 2 in the house where they settled is not. Those 2 in the house where they settled is really not all that ideal for Team Kauffman. You can tap those and set up a pocket.
Yeah, this is the challenge with 5-rock rule here, right? You can't go to defense too early.
Nope.
It's only the 4th end right now, and if Fenson was to figure out how to grab 3, all of a sudden it's 7-5, and now it's a much tighter game. So, looks like they're going to throw another one in here. In the end, it looks like they're just going to create a nice big pile for Team Fenson to use.
Yeah, at this point, more rocks in play, the more that helps Team Fenson. They're the ones that need to be aggressive.
Now, of course, it's the Kauffman team who's making a few more shots in this game so far. So if that trend was to continue,
right,
advantage Kauffman in this scenario.
Right.
But of course, you know the Fenson team is quite skilled. A number of the players were part of last year's National Junior Champions, and you know, if you better watch out if they find their draw weight.
Just a couple of made shots, and like you said, they grab a 3, it's game on. Trying to bend this behind the guard. Might just be edge to edge visible. Kauffman can definitely go after and hit this, and free guard zone is off, so if they clip the guard out of the way, that's fine too.
Yeah, you just want to make contact with something here.
Yep, something red. Could call it a Visine shot, get the red out.
That's why we got you, Sean.
I'm full of little useless quips like that. Nicely thrown.
And of course, the roll right on top of the pile there. Not sure it's a shot that Fenson can ignore.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it. It might. I know that guard is tempting to use, but you're going to have to deal with that cluster in the middle. You don't necessarily need to smash anything, just move things around a little bit, set up some jams and pockets.
Yeah, like a backline weight here. You just sort of splash those around. It's going to be real hard to remove your own stone if you can hit it on the nose.
Yep, absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
Looks like they're going for the kind of chip and roll option here. This is going to be pretty good.
Boy, nice shot. Very, very nice.
Moves the yellow off the center. Though if Kauffman is willing to be aggressive here, he could freeze one right into that pocket. Create a yellow flying V. He is just going to hit the guard after all. Probably the smart call up 7-2.
Yeah. No need to be overly aggressive with a 5-point lead.
Well, the problem is if you don't make it, Fenson's going to make it.
Right.
And again, there's a 3 on the board as a potential here.
Oh, for sure. Look ahead, a couple potential shots. Say this is made, frozen in the pocket. Kauffman might just opt to peel the back stone that's not protected by anything. Fenson maybe freezes another one on top of his own. And how do you get either one out?
Yeah, I think the key to the freeze here for Fenson is to try and put it in a way that the double off the red one, like hitting it and then onto the other red one, is not there.
Right.
You probably want to corner freeze a little bit on the one on the left. Good shot there by Fenson.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Now, again, the challenge that I was looking at is that if you were to hit half that stone on the left-hand side, you could make the double onto the other red one, and then you splash some of that backing out of the way, too.
Right. I don't know that you're necessarily going to remove the red stone just thrown. I don't think you will, but you're going to...
You are not removing that. But actually, if you hit a quarter of that stone... You'll unlock it onto the other yellow one there you see in the top right-hand corner. You can see the overhead. And it'll stay there with nothing behind it.
Right. Double is tempting to play, but it's thin. Maybe a quarter rock. I'm actually thinking just a hair less.
Yeah, I think as long as you make contact with something on the left-hand side there, you'll redirect into your red one. Like they're talking about nose hitting or just playing a shot on the open red one, which is it's the more conservative call, and you make Fenson do the work in the middle.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. You know, it's likely to give up 2 here because of it, but, you know, you're okay with that.
Right. I think with that freeze being made, Kauffman team is now thinking, you know, giving up 2 here is completely fine. We'll be up 3 with hammer. Not really sure I like that rolling in behind the 4-foot there. That just makes more shrapnel to protect that red in there.
Yeah, right now, and it was also the moving of the other yellow one there.
Yeah.
Like right now, if Fenson is able to hit this on the nose with like a back 4, back 8 weight, he'll have a big circle pile in the back there.
Yeah, it's angled right. You won't be able to get rid of either one of these.
Got to get that yellow moving a little bit, though. That'll play.
Yeah, it didn't disturb the button Yellowstone, but still, how do you move either one of these right now?
Yeah, I think you can actually hit this 3/4 on the left-hand side. You kick
Will the right one go
red out
the
the side door.
The side? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, red will stay there. Yeah, I think hitting it on the nose is actually a good shot. Red would stay, you'd stay frozen to red, and now red's going to have to try and kind of use the backing to try and sneak a second point into the button there.
Well, I think if you hit it on the nose, that red on the right still might skitter over to the side at least some.
Yeah, I think it goes easy.
Okay.
Like hitting the nose, this red one will redirect it sideways, right?
Right, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of bad luck on that one. With where it landed. Again, still got to go make the shot.
Right. Yeah, you got to hit it in the right spot. Hit it in the wrong spot, it's not going to be very helpful. Really, with this ice, I'm sure it'll be moving. It's just about making contact. There it goes.
And it does open up the pocket in the back, too. The nose hit on that red now, and it'll go straight on through.
Yep. So now if you're Team Fenson, where's the optimal place to play this? Are they playing a freeze on that yellow on the right there?
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to put that stone kind of back where it was.
Okay.
If you can ever just come down, kind of catch 3/4 of the yellow, chip it back a little bit, it'll stay there. You want to kind of keep that red stone in behind, a quarter locked in front of the yellow. Then the hit on the top yellow or the top red here in the middle will not actually go through, and it'll just jam and jiggle around in the 4-foot.
Right.
Sorry, a little slow on the switch there. This rock needed some help. Sweeping hard on it. This is going to come up short. This is kind of disastrous, to be honest.
Oh. That's not the correct way to miss that at all.
Yeah, looks like Aiden Oldenburg can come down with the death blow here. If he can just come down, nose this, hack weight, it's going to be real tough for Fenson to score. And of course, the multi-point score is most likely gone as well, which is really the key here to getting back into this 7-2 game.
And this is made, and Kauffman team steals a couple here. Might be game over.
Aiden Oldenburg's going to come down and take another look. Just not totally comfortable with what he sees at the other end.
I think they need to talk about where exactly to hit this. If you're going to jam it off of a yellow, the one to do it off of is the one that's directly behind it, not the one to the right. Because if it goes on to the right, it's going to bounce back over to the left and probably still be there, and then Fenson can get his two.
Yeah, with that broom, it looks like they're going to throw a little bit of a control weight, maybe a little bit like board. Just enough weight to push that rock through the end of the sheet.
You don't have to smoke it. If you smoke it, you take the sweepers out of it.
Two stones to come here in the fourth end. Team Kauffman skip Aiden Oldenburg, throwing last stones here. One more to come for Team Fenson. I gotta go hard on the sweep here.
Oh.
He's gonna wreck on the perfect guard out front.
Just how they drew it up, right?
Hey, if they wreck on the guard, it's perfect, right?
Yeah, that's right. Jump.
So that is going to leave a draw to the forefoot for Team Fenson to put 2 on the board. Not quite done yet.
There's a lot more room to make this one than you'd think. You can hit the yellow one, come to rest against the yellow one in the back. That'll be good. Come to rest against your own. That'll be good. Bump your own around as long as you don't bump it out of the forefoot. That'll be good too. Looks like they're going to be.
This looks good.
Option number 1.
So that's 2 for Team Fenson. They now trail 7-4 after 4 ends here at the Goldline U.S. Open of Curling. We'll be right back after these quick messages. I think for Team Fenson, they're certainly breathing a sigh of relief here. It looked like Team Kauffman had a chance to end this one early. But skip Aiden Oldenburg a little tight on his last. Rex on the guard to lie 5, leaving Fenson the draw for 2. So Kauffman still in control, up 7-4 with hammer. 4 ends to go here. Joined by USA Curling host Sean Murray, otherwise known as Angry Bird. We'll see or hear Sean on the TSN coverage of the U.S. Nationals quite often. And, of course, Four Seasons is your home club as well, Sean.
Yep. Sitting out this year. Want to see how things play out, but, I'll still commentate. I'll still talk.
I had a question earlier about where we were commentating from. Anywhere in the world.
Nope. I'm at home in my computer room.
And I'm London, Ontario, Canada, the Curling Zone Studios. So the first center guard goes up. Team Kauffman looking for the draw to the wing there. Looks like that held on in the back, so that is perfect. And now Team Fenson is going to throw a second center guard up.
Yeah, and we'll see what Team Kauffman wants to do. I know I'm hoping we don't see them attempt to come around the center because that's exactly what Fenson wants them to do. I'm sure they'll just go to the wing again. Maybe attempt a tick shot if they feel like it. Pretty nice guard. Oh, they are coming around the middle.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing. If you were to throw like a back line-ish to hack weight shot here, play it on the intern side there on the left, and you were to wreck on either guard and roll your shooter into the rings, that would be great.
It's a really good shot, right? Yeah, this is a good call if it's made pretty much perfectly. You want to, like, top 8 would be the perfect depth for this. Okay, this is cruising. Looks a little deeper than that. Oof, behind the button. That's not where you wanted it.
Yeah, a little bit too deep in that spot.
Now, see, if they'd just gone to the wing again and had wound up that deep, it wouldn't be hurting nearly as much as this one is. This is exactly what Fenson was hoping for. Pretty nice. Would have liked it to curl a little bit more, but it's still a headache for Kauffman.
Nick Soto, second for Team Kauffman in the hack. Looking for the double peel up front. Get those stones moving.
Yeah, these are close enough together. It's pretty easy to get rid of both of these. Hit 3/4 or so. Ooh.
Instead leaves the other guard up there.
And now that
the top red with a yellow and actually putting it right in front of the backing.
Oh, and that red is completely sunk, and those guards are a little staggered. That's oof. Not a good outcome on that one at all. Team Fenson, if they sink another one here, get 2 under a center guard, game on. Line's perfect, but it doesn't quite have the weight. So not a bad result, though. hooks those red guards.
Yeah, it looks like the Kauffman team's going to continue to peel here.
We'll see how this end continues to play out, but right now everything has been dictated by that attempted come around behind the centers that went behind the team line. Nice double. Right now, at the very worst, I'd say Fenson is in a good position to force this end. Force to one, get your 3, 2 or 3, and then force again, get another 2. Switching gears, going to go on the offense, try to make a come around instead.
Yeah, that's Kauffman's turn to go around here.
Working it hard. I'm not sure they're by that tight guard. Oh.
Yeah, a little bit of this. You're seeing some really good play here, and then the odd shot like that where it's just finding that September feel.
Yep. So you see Fenson would love to go around that again, but the fact that that's a Kauffman stone real close to the rings is a little bit of a problem. It's pretty easy to run that back.
Yeah, except you're pretty much committed here.
Well,
Down
you are.
3
Yeah.
without, 4 to go. All in, boys.
Yep. Just trying to think, all right, I know I want to come around this, but like where exactly do I want to go?
Yeah, you really want to be, the higher the better. If you could ever just get it top 4.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't beat the back one, it's not the end of the world because you can make a play
No.
with it later.
Yeah, it doesn't need to. They got to buy, but now it's got to sit.
Yeah, just a little too heavy on that one.
It's kind of interesting where it stopped. Now it's if the Kauffman team ever got a chance to play some kind of a run back on the shot stone, it could be a catcher for that yellow. Let's see what happens.
This also looks tight and light. Maybe not light, just line here.
I wonder if maybe the ice is getting a little more curl on it, and it's getting in the second half of the game.
Yeah,
kind of
we've
fool
seen a
them a little
fair bit
bit.
of this. I think it's just trying to find the right line for the weight. Yeah, these are two of the top young junior teams in the United States. Riley Fenson, and at least a couple of the players were part of the national championship team last year. Luke Violette was the skip. And of course, the Kauffman team. I don't know much about them, but John Benton was talking about them earlier, being a team that's either still under 18 or just graduating out of that group.
I had to look up the roster. I mean, I know the name Kauffman because I think this is Doug Kauffman's son, but
And that is
I
confirmed.
I sure hope so since I just said it, but they're not familiar to me. I haven't seen these guys play before.
Looking for this to stop. Top 4 foot.
It's a little
Another
strong.
one
You know,
just
they could have.
sliding.
It was a little heavy. They could have maybe swept it and tried to just skinny off of that yellow that they just missed.
Just needed a tiny rub, and the speed was there.
Yep.
First skip stone here for Aiden Oldenburg, Team Kauffman. See if he can find this line here. A little bit on off. Jumping ahead on you again. This looks pretty good.
That's close. Make this bend just a little more.
Yeah, the weight just fooling the sweepers there a little bit. That didn't need any brushing.
I think that track must be getting a little fast. There's been a number of rocks down this path.
Yeah, that is a thing. You throw a bunch of stones down a path, and each stone will continue to increase speed up to a certain point. Fenson, his last to come here. Team Kauffman, one more with the hammer here in 5. Again, huge opportunity. If you can stop this top of the button, a real good chance at a steal.
This one's finishing pretty nice, but looks like it's quick again.
Yeah, a little heavy. Yeah,
they are
spot. Even if he would have been top 12, you would have been shot on the side of the button there, and it would have been tough to score.
Yeah. Now you're sitting 2, but just got a catcher's mitt behind the button.
Yeah. Still not an easy shot through the port here.
Yeah, it would be really easy knowing how the last one he threw, it tracked on him, it went back. It'd be really easy to take a little bit off and soften this one, and suddenly it takes off and wrecks.
Last stone here. Aiden Oldenburg of Team Kauffman. Sweeping to curl. This is not light. Really needs to bend here.
Uh-oh. Oh. Oh.
That will be a steal of 2.
Game on.
Fenson cuts the deficit to a single point. Team Kauffman now leads 7-6 here at the Goldline. U.S. Open Contender. We're streaming live from the Four Seasons Curling Club in Blaine, Minnesota. We'll be right back with the 6th end after this short break. We're back here. Team Fenson has some life in their game again. Down 7-2. They score 2. Steal a 2 more. And now they're only behind by a single point here. This is a B qualifier game. Winner will advance to the playoffs on Sunday. It's a big game for both these teams.
Yeah,
we do have 3 other games on right now as well. Jed Brundage up 5-0 on Steven Imes. Jeremy Hosgen 4-2 lead on Daniel Casper. And Madison Bear leads 5-3 over Megan Thompson. We've got a mix of teams in this event, from established regions in the sport to emerging regions in the sport. Jeremy Hosgen, of course, from North Carolina, has been playing on the U.S. Tour for the last few years now. And Megan Thompson out of Alpharetta, Georgia. And they've had their ups and downs here. I knew this is a pretty inexperienced team, but we had them on the stream the other night, and they make a few shots.
Is that the Peachtree Curling Association?
Yeah, I'm not sure which club they're out of.
Okay.
But I know they're listed as Alpharetta.
Okay.
And I hope I'm saying that right.
So I know there was a men's team from Georgia in the field last year. And I know they were from Peachtree. I don't know if I have no idea how much curling is actually in Georgia right now. It'd be great and nice to see it growing in any case.
Yeah, I know the Peachtree Curling Club has really done a great job of getting things off the ground in Atlanta there. A group split from the original Atlanta Curling Club, which was curling in a hockey arena there. And they ended up forming a new club and ended up building the first dedicated facility in the greater Atlanta area. So another end here. Lots of rocks in play in the middle. Exactly what Team Fenson is looking for.
Team Kauffman just kind of needs to put that last end behind them. They're probably feeling like the game is getting a little bit away from them. They had full control, but they still have control. They're up 1 with hammer. They just need to make sure they score here. 2 obviously would be great, but just get something on the board.
Yeah, this is where you gotta, yeah, like you're saying, you gotta refocus and put your mind back into the position where you are. In this situation in the game, you're no less than 75% to still win the game. So you're a very strong favorite. Just got to come out and make some good shots here.
And a pretty unfortunate result for Team Fenson like that will help that cause.
Yeah, just playing a little bit too much weight in that spot, I think. You know, you're trying to steal, keep rocks in the middle. A draw down to that yellow stone would have been great.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be back later this evening with the scheduled 7 p.m. Central draw. I have a feeling that is going to be a little bit delayed. We're just waiting on an update for the exact time there. I'm thinking it'll be closer to 7:30 Central Time. But we'll be back with the curling Zoom party, which Matt Hames and a number of other curlers have got together earlier this season, and as a result of the pandemic, every Saturday night they'll load up an old retro game or even something not so old, and we'll watch it all together and chat a little curling and everything going on as well. So we're going to merge the Zoom party and the Goldline U.S. Open Contender here and put it all together into one feed.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it should be an interesting experience. Trying to merge all this technology together. Again, another heavy stone out of Team Fenson here. Not sure where the hits have all sort of shown up from. They'd been doing such a good job of drawing and clogging up the middle.
Right. And that's how they stole two last time was, staying patient, staying aggressive, and, not really the time in the game to be throwing, firm normals.
You'll see Kauffman here looking to play the hit. Again, looking for the hit here. Again, another scenario. I don't love this.
Yeah, I don't really know what you get by hitting a stone in the back of the 12-foot.
I think he's feeling like a force here would be great, but you can't roll out.
Well, that's the problem. You roll out.
I think regardless of the result in the back, though, Team Kauffman was going to be going around this corner guard.
Absolutely.
So now you got to think about what your opponent is going to do, and you wonder if you'd want him to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Get there first yourself.
Yeah. I personally would have liked to see Team Fenson maybe throw a center guard. Try to see if you can bait Kauffman into coming around it. It worked for you last end. That's how you manufactured the steal. They tried to come around. They went deep.
And this is exactly the type of end Team Kauffman, and I'm sure their coach, if he's sitting upstairs watching, loves to see out of his guys. Just a more calm, open end, sort of a bounce back from that steal of two. It's a little bit heavy. but still going deep around the corner guard. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh.
As long as you're sitting shot back there. Third Sam Strauss is going to come take a look.
Feels to me like you have to follow that. Don't really know what anything else gets you at this point.
Yeah, you hate it, but I think it's the
Right.
result you have to kind of go with.
Yeah, it's ugly and you don't want to do it, but I don't really see what choice you have.
Yeah, you're committed at this point, I think. You know, you end up by playing the end the way you did. You knew you were going to be playing under the corner guard, trying to figure out how to get a force here. Now the question
Right.
is do you go all the way back and freeze to it, or do you try and sit in front of the T line underneath the corner guard?
Yeah, I mean they've found themselves in this situation by calling all of those hits and losing the shooters and just letting Team Kauffman basically dictate how this end is being played. Backline wait, I guess they're actually trying to tap it out.
Yeah, it looks like in the end they settled for the dig out. Again for Kauffman, another chance to go around that corner guard. This is Connor Kauffman throwing third stones.
Looks pretty nice. Like to hang around. Not that it matters. You'll see Kauffman go around the guard anyways, I imagine.
And again, I'm watching the wrong screen. I will call myself out on it every time, just so so everybody realizes why I'm confusing them.
Okay.
So now the draw around. This is Kauffman third. And it is Connor Kauffman throwing the third stones. Hoping to stop this one in front of the T line.
Yeah, they just threw this one. They should have a good idea of how it'll behave. Take a little bit of weight off. Let the sweepers drive it right in there. But they're not showing much interest in this one. Ooh. Ooh.
Looks like red might be shot in the back there.
I was just about to ask, and then, yeah, it's kind of what it looks like to me too. I'm looking at an iPhone screen, so my picture-in-picture of that house is less than an inch square.
Big draw here to come for Riley Fenson. Needs to get it buried around the corner guard. Trevor Marquardt working hard on the sweep. Looking
Got a
for
curl.
the finish here. Looks like it's in a pretty good spot. Just enough buried that I don't think Kauffman really wants to mess with this here.
It's kind of a teaser. You can probably see just about the whole thing from the hack at the far end, but it's not easy to remove. You got to get to the nose or a little bit low. I think if you were just to throw like a hack waiter, try to cross the face and roll under the guard, that's probably the way to play this.
Not sure what he settled on for a shot here. I know they were talking about throwing the draw open side, but with that broom, it looks like they're going to make a play on it. First of two for skip Aiden Oldenburg here. Looks pretty good, trying to hold the line.
Trying to roll away.
You can get this across the top.
Ooh.
And it rolls right into the middle.
Nice shot. Did actually just tickle that yellow in the back. I'm pretty sure that the red back there is second.
Yeah, it appears to be from that graphic in the top right-hand corner. Fenson looking for the hit and roll here. He'd love to roll right over to that yellow stone.
As long as he keeps the shooter in the 8 foot and doesn't disturb his own second shot in the back, he'll have a force.
Yeah, this is running straight on him, though.
It's got a curl to stay. They tried to make the double at the last second and didn't quite pan out.
Yeah, they jump on that a few seconds earlier, and they might actually catch that one. Looks like Kauffman's going to have a hit for two here. Kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, this one kind of snuck up on both teams almost. It was set up by that great hit and roll on his first.
Last stone, sixth end here. Aiden Oldenburg throwing the nose hit to try and score two. Put Kauffman up 3 points. This rock again, a little overthrown.
I don't think this is
Thurston
staying.
looking for the curl, and I don't think so either.
It's too much weight.
Yeah, just a little bit. And that looks like it rolls too far. It will be a single point for Team Kauffman here in the 6th. They will head to the 7th end with a 8-6 lead here at the Goldline U.S. Open Contender. We'll be right back. And welcome back. This is 7th end action from the Goldline U.S. Open Contender. B qualifier action here. First of 2 B qualifiers. I believe the next is coming up at, so supposed to be 7 p.m. Central. We're getting close to that time already. It's probably going to be bumped back about half an hour or so, putting us right around 8:30 Eastern time. Sorry, 8:30 Central time. No.
Oh, it'll be 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern.
Thank you, Sean.
The B qualifier will be Nicholas Connolly versus Daryl Sobering.
Yeah, we'll get another chance to see both of those teams. Daryl Sobering played Rich Ruin in the A qualifier. We had that game earlier, and that was a really well game. Came right down to the end. And of course, Nicholas Connolly is played earlier this weekend as well, and looking forward to seeing that matchup. Since we've seen these teams, Connolly with a 6-5 win over Team Tuma. Tuma, the U.S. Junior Nationals runner-up last season, putting them into that B qualifier. Of course, after Sobering loss to Ruinen, an 8-4 win over Wesley Wendling. That gets them to that B qualifier, 3-1 record there as well. So now break for Team Fenson. Down 2 with hammer, with 2 to play. Here's their opportunity to maybe take the first lead of the game.
Yeah, corner guard at second, Kauffman Stone not really in the best position for them.
Yeah, it creates a bit of a pocket there in the back.
Just going to set up a second corner. Maybe a second corner, unless it slips in the rings, which it looks like it's going to do.
Just a little too deep. So I'm just going to step away for a second, Sean. The 7th end is all yours here.
All right. So looking to play the nose hit. Even rolling away wouldn't be the worst. Actually going to roll towards the center. Seen this a few times already, a cluster of Kauffman stones in the middle. Team Fenson looking for the hit and roll. Don't necessarily have to hit and roll. You could just draw into that, but you have to deal with those yellow stones at some point. Hit on the wrong side. Not bad. Stays in the rings. Kauffman has to deal with it. Best would be to roll back to the left, just where almost the broom was. Kind of try to line up those 3 yellows as best you can. Talking about where exactly to roll with this. I think they're actually going to be peeling off the guard. That's not a bad call. Catch it super thin, you might even get both of them. That's pretty bold. Just make sure the guard goes away. Give it a pretty good try. Just got rid of the guard. Now Fenson will have to manufacture what he needs without any guards, and it's never easy. Looking for a freeze, maybe a little tap on these yellows. Very easy to set up a double if they don't place this correctly. Dinner's ready. That under curled now. Those 2 yellows, 2 reds rather, right next to each other. Both go pretty easy. Throw this hard enough, you can make this either way, hitting either one of them first. It's a little easier hitting the one on the right first. You only need to hit about, let's say, a third of that one. You could probably make it hitting off the other one, but you have to hit much more of it. And there you go. Actually did hit the left one first, but they were so close together. Both of them went flying, and now you got this lined up stack of yellows in the forefoot, and that's it. And this be hard to see how Team Fenson can manufacture a score of 2 here now. The angles are so perfect that middle stone isn't going anywhere, no matter what you do. Doesn't matter how hard you throw it. It might move a bit, but it is not leaving the house. It's probably Team Fenson's best bet now is to smash and try to blank this end. Unless they want to just hit it soft and leave it frozen right on the nose. That would work too. Just like that. Hard to do better. Similar situation. That middle yellow stone, it's not leaving the rings, no matter what you do here. Not sure what they decided on here. Could just guard this. It's kind of what it looks like they're doing. Just to curl a bit. That'll do. Still see some of this from the hack. I'd probably say third or so. Let's try and move these around some. Try to hit as much on the nose as possible. It'd be nice to get the shot stone maybe to the back 8 foot somewhere. Go to get by. No. Oof, that's pretty much see you later for any chance of scoring multiples. Kauffman team puts on a good guard. Takes away any realistic play on these. Fenson team is going to be in tough just to score. Don't want this too tight. Set up some kind of a run back. That is very nicely placed.
Kauffman with the pressure on here.
Yeah. Pretty ugly setup for the Fenson team. They were looking initially at maybe playing a run back, but I don't really know what that gets you. I think your best bet is...
At this point, it looks like it's going to go nut.
Yeah.
And I think the call here, you got to try and draw top of the button.
Absolutely.
Try and bury one around there. Fenson with 2 to come.
desperately trying to figure out if they can do anything with some kind of run back to set up a desperation 2, but I'm not really seeing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's necessary. I think,
I don't, yeah.
The way you get 2 here is you draw a back button. And you got to get them drawn and chasing. You just got to hope for a mistake.
Right. Yeah, because that's the thing. If you draw a top button, I mean, that's great, but you're never going to get 2 if it's there because there's not enough room. Oh, they're going to... That ice, it looks like they're double peeling the guards.
I think they're reevaluating, having a discussion here. Riley's going to come back down. Talk to Sam Strauss here and take another look at this shot.
I really think you got to draw here. You got to take your medicine.
Yeah, you're not that bad off here if you can make a decent draw.
No, not at all. What you can't afford to do is give up a steal. You got to try to score.
Looking for the big weight run here. This is everything.
I don't know. That middle yellow really isn't going anywhere the way this is lined up. Pulled the driver out of the bag and tried to hit about 400 yards. not quite on the mark.
200 straight into the bush.
200 straight into the weeds. He golfs like I do.
Just talking about this.
Oh,
I don't think they're certain as to what they want to do here.
Well, the first obvious call might be the guard, and that's not a bad call. But at the same time, I mean, what are you really guarding? Is there a chance that Fenson could smoke that and still get 2? I really don't think so. I don't think that middle yellow is going to go far enough.
I think if you hit it on the nose with a bullet, you can get that
bomb.
Middle yellow one and maybe squeeze it out into the 12-foot.
That's got to go a long way. And I think what they're talking about is, what if we draw a top button?
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that. Do that, you're pretty much guaranteed to steal.
I've been quite impressed with the thinking and the shot calling around this Kauffman team out here. They're still certainly waiting. Their execution game is still catching up to the tactics and stuff out here. But this is a very mature call, I think.
Absolutely, they're definitely putting the right thought processes together, and the execution will come.
And if they can just get this by that red stone, even a little bit by the yellow one that's in the middle there.
Yep.
There would be very little way for Fenson to even score.
Yeah, if you get this like just full 4 on the center line, or just nibbling the top of the button, I don't think Fenson has a shot to score if they place it correctly. Yeah, I love this call.
Even a hair short here is okay. Now, it looks like the draw wasn't necessarily the call, but throw something in the line there.
Right. Yeah.
And
I mean, it accomplishes the same thing, whether it's top button or tight, a 3 guard. That does the trick, I think. I think they're content to leave the potential big waiter, knowing that
I don't think they
it
think
might
it's
not be
there
accurate.
either.
But I don't know if the draw is there. Will it finish enough to grab enough of the button to count? Oof.
Essentially, they need to
They would have to-
overbury by about
About
a
half-
quarter stone
Quarter to a
with
half a
T-line
stone.
weight.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I think it's there.
Think so?
Based
Okay.
on everything we've seen so far with the ice here, it's possible, but they're going to have to throw it to the spot.
Right. You might even have to soften up the handle a bit so it finishes hard at the end.
Last stone of the 7th end to come here. Riley Fenson looking to catch a good chunk of the button here. Try and get his single point and stay alive. And this thing just looks like it's way out there.
It just got out in the slow stuff. Oof.
So that'll be a steal of 2 for Team Kauffman. They'll go up 4 into the 8th end here, 10-6. Looking to cruise on home into the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals will go tomorrow morning. We're still waiting to find out a time. But we'll have quarters, semis, and the championship tomorrow. Looking forward to catching playoff action here. We'll be right back after a short break. So we're sort of on cruise control here. Up 4 coming home. It's kind of the deciding point. Often you'll see teams shake hands at this point. 5 Rock rule, though, a little bit of inconsistency. September curling. You never know. You might be able to find a 4 here.
Yeah, anything's possible. Team Kauffman, of course, wanting nothing at all to do with stones in play. They're just tossing their first couple rocks through.
Team Fenson will have another crack at qualifying for the playoffs. Should they not find the comeback here. I believe they would be going later tonight in the C qualifiers.
Yeah, C qualifiers are at 9:30 Central.
Yeah, at this point, we're looking like we're a little bit behind here. I think our next draw is scheduled right now for 7:15 Central. They're going to try and turn it around fairly quickly.
So fifth rock at the end. Still can't peel. Still going to be thrown through.
Just a quick check on some of the other games going on. Jed Brundage, 8-1 winners over Stephen Imes. Jeremy Hosgen, 4-2 over Daniel Casper. Not sure where that is in the game. We'll have to check. Curling Zone for the game story there. And of course, Madison Bear, 7-3 final over Megan Thompson. It's been great having you on, Sean, for a game here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I feel a little out of practice, but and it's a little funny doing it just on my phone, but it works. This is a really good setup you've got here. Really appreciate it. Like a lot of people appreciate it.
Just trying to bring a little curling, a little bit of normalcy back to the game here. For Team Kauffman, just looking to peel them away one at a time.
Now, I do wonder how nationals will be handled down here this year. Like, A, if it'll happen at all. B, if there will be streaming, if Joe and Brian at 12th End will be doing it, or if another setup like this will be happening. Guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think we've got some time to concern ourselves about that yet. That's not till February, March range.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what ends up happening there. I know pretty much everything before Christmas of significance has been canceled.
Yep.
Grand Slams, Canada Cup, Pacific Asians, Europeans. I think you're looking at some events remaining in December yet. We'll see some regular tour events.
Yeah, I saw that some Canadian events were canceled. Was juniors one of them too?
Yeah, Canadian juniors, university championships. There was under 15. They were going to do a new event there. It's kind of a national championship for that. I think it's more of a celebration of the sport versus a championship. But yeah, it's tough to see. So of course, a curling zone. We're trying to bring whatever's left of the curling story to the fans out there. We've been working on writing a bit more, doing some interviews, and trying to get to talk to the people of the sport and hear about the stories that are going on out there, both from the competitive level as well as right down into the club level, as a number of curling clubs are trying to figure out how to open and trying to share some of that information with the fans and clubs out there looking for the same thing. Nose hit on the peel. That one chipping off there is not in a bad spot. Still a useful stone here for Team Fenson, but I have a feeling they're going to have to make everything score from now on.
Yeah.
This is when you try and find a way to hide 4 behind a single corner guard.
I suppose it's possible, but not terribly likely. I have
seen it done.
Okay.
By good teams against good teams. It's just one of those things. You can kind of get tricked into it, right? You get this one around here. And, if you can get the other team to kind of chase it, you never know what's going to happen. This one has got to be in play, though. 4
Yeah.
reds to go.
One in the house, one coming. They all got to count.
And this looks a little heavy.
Oh, got to stay in the rings. Oh. And that'll do it.
And that's it. That's handshakes. That will be a final 10-6 for Connor Kauffman. They will advance to the quarterfinals tomorrow morning. Exciting for such a young team to see them get through into the playoffs here. Anyway, Sean, thanks again for joining in and helping commentate this afternoon draw here from the Goldline U.S. Open Contender. Any final thoughts on the weekend?
No, I actually haven't been watching much up to this point, but I'll just I'll say thanks again for setting all this up. I'm sure a lot of the fans out there appreciate having some curling to watch. If their club is not operating or whatever, it's really appreciated. So really cool, and thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Anyways, we'll be back shortly with the next draw. We've got Daryl Sobering taking on Nicholas Connolly in the first C qualifier. Sorry, the second B qualifier.
Yes.
So that'll be another team out of the B side looking to book their spot into the quarterfinals. We'll be back with the curling Zoom party. I'm kind of looking forward to this. It'll be an interesting mix. We've got a bit of a group that'll be sort of hosting a party. So I hope anybody who's part of the Zoom party, be sure to check into the room. It is now open. I've gotten word on that. It is now open. So come on in and come join the Zoom party. For everyone else looking to tune in, we'll be streaming through YouTube and our Facebook channel. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification as well so that you'll be reminded when we're back next. And on Facebook, please like, share the streams, and of course, comment. We'd love to hear where you're watching from, what's going on, your favorite teams, the thoughts on curling being back, everything and anything. The comments and all the social interaction helps our feed, helps our fans find us. And so anything you can do to help support that is greatly appreciated. For Sean Murray, Mr. Angry Bird, thanks again for helping out with the stream. My name is Jerry Gertz of Curling Zone. We'll be back shortly with the next draw. Until then, everyone, take care.